Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Today we've got a special treat for two of our special superstars, Mr. Ronnie, Mr. Ian. Well, you've asked about the progress, you've asked about what's going on with the bus terminal in Uptown Paphos. Well, there it is. As you can see, it's coming on strong, and they're actually putting the windows in. If you watch that crane, it's hanging big panes of glass over and around the building. So let's go for a gentle drive past it and show you as it's nearing its completion, shall we say. And it's going to be a very attractive building, there's no doubt about that. Ultra modern. So let's go into this little area here and then we'll park up and I will allow you to feast your eyes and digest it all. Not the biggest bus terminal in the world, but for Paphos that is pretty big. And of course we understand that the municipality is starting to take public transport very seriously indeed, because, well, we're becoming a smart city, if you understand me. They've spent millions of euros attaching computer screens to the sides of lampposts that tell us such things as the temperature, which is quite useful. It tells us the time, which is quite useful, and it even tells us the air quality and the air pressure, which, to be honest, is not that useful. But anyway, they've also come up with a great idea, and that's what it's actually all about. You're allowed to advertise on them. There you go. So the municipality has come up with a very clever way of making an extra couple of bob. Now, the rant is over. Where are we? Well, we're at the very top of the old town of Paphos, and I invite you to come for a little bit of a wiggle and a little bit of a waggle with Mr. Paul as he goes about his daily duties of wibbling around here looking for car parts and popping to the bank and going to see customers, collecting cars, dropping cars off, all that kind of thing. And if you really like it, this can become part of our channel. The people who follow the channel understand that we were given a bit of a kick in the teeth on well, it was actually New Year's Eve morning, if you understand me, when we woke up to the news that Marika's father unfortunately had passed away. Not a very pleasant thing to hear, that's for sure. Because we're a very close family, if you understand me. I think people understand what I'm about to say now. You don't have to live next door to each other to be a close family. You can live thousands of miles apart and be even closer. And in our case, that was the case. So it was a bit of a shock, but well, hopefully Edward now will go to a better place, and hopefully we will meet him again in the next life, and I'm sure that we will. Hopefully for myself and Marika, that next life doesn't come for a very long time, because if it does, well, unfortunately the channel with the name Marika and me will end, shall we say. If you're curious to know how Marika's getting on, she is a strong girl, and of course our daughter Ella is with her, and she's known as the Rottweiler, so she's very strong indeed. Let's take a left down here, and on the theme of bus stations, we will show you where currently the temporary bus station is. So this is the lower car park to the front of the old town, where there's cafes across the front looking out across the blue Mediterranean Sea, and that is the temporary bus station there. And then the little porter cabin next to that one is the intercity bus. So if you're curious to know the difference in the buses, the local buses are blue buses, normal size, you know, quite a big single-decker bus. And then the green buses that you see driving around now and again, they're the buses that are the intercity buses. So if you wanted to go to Limassol, Larnaca, Nicosia on a bus, you would be going on a green intercity bus. Price is quite reasonable, by the way. I think to go from Paphos to Limassol is about 12 euros, something like that, so not a lot of money. They are pushing public transport an awful lot. Oh so sweet Caroline, if you're watching, get that pillow out, because this road is quite bad, and one or two of these potholes are going to come whizzing over to you and well, pop your eyeballs out, that's for sure. We are now rapidly heading into the Tomb of the Kings area. If you look at that signpost in front, You go left, you can go to the port, to the tourist area. If we go right, as we're going to go, it says Tomb of the Kings. You can keep on going to Coral Bay, which means Paya, and then before that it's saying Chlorica. So that is correct. I do confer that on that signpost they have written it correctly, because I am like Google Maps of Paphos. If you want to know where somewhere is, drop it in the comments and I'll give you a guided tour of where it actually is. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you do really like these little drive arounds and what's going on in Mr. Paul's life, you can even get more involved if you want, because I can actually take you with me to parts suppliers. I can take you to customers and sit down and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with them and have a bit of a chin wag, that's for sure, if that's what you want to see. But that doesn't mean that Marika and me is not going to be Marika and me. Oh no, because when we see the other booth, Miss Marika comes back, she's coming back a fighting, she's coming back with a vengeance, and we're going to storm that Cato Paphos promenade and that harbour over and over again. And we're looking forward to meeting many new friends, and hopefully all of our own friends. We like to interact, and I'm sure you understand that. It's all part of the channel. But things must change, and change is a good thing. And if this brings more people to us, long may it continue. So please let us know in the comments what you want from Marika and me, what you want the channel to do, where you want the channel to go. And please bear in mind that we are at this moment in time Paphos based, so as much as we would love to whiz off to Limassol and Larnaca and all those kind of places, and Crete and Corfu and Jamaica and Botswana, oh so sweet Caroline, we can't, because I have to work full time and Marika has to work full time as well. We're not complaining, but we do our little productions, shall we say, in our non-working time, or as I'm doing now, I can actually mix it in with my working time, because I do spend a lot of time driving around. I think a lot of people think I'm a taxi driver, but never has a fare. So anyway, as I was saying to Miss Maggie, if you're coming out in March, Miss Maggie, please drop me a comment. I'll pick you up from the airport, and I mean that sincerely, no charge. I will pick you up from the airport, and you and me will drive back, and you will do the commentary as we drive from Paphos Airport to wherever you're staying. I presume that's either your apartment in Paphos Gardens, or perhaps you're going to book into the Alexander the Great like you are in June, July. So drop in the comments, let me know, because it could be a very interesting video. And again, it could be a new theme for the channel, where perhaps Mr. Paul picks people up from the airport, see how you can save some money, and you could do the running commentary as we come back to Paphos town, and we could do a bit of car karaoke and all these sorts of things. You never know, the channel might go to new heights, or it might just go to nothing, with me involved, I mean, not with you guys. If you guys join it, you never know, we could become the superstars of YouTube. Well, you could anyway. Where are we now? Tomb of the Kings Avenue. Shops and restaurants, businesses absolutely everywhere. To give you the main focal points, just on the right hand side is the Roman Hotel. I was blank then for a second, and on the left hand side there is the shiny silver building known as the Paphos Mall, which must mean that this is the Paphos Mall roundabout. So we're going to go down to the Cato Paphos Harbour area, which means, well, you're going to get a great view of the blue Mediterranean Sea. So don't go away just yet. The structure we're about to go underneath, that's the Paphos Skywalk, and as I say in many of the videos now, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it doesn't cost you a penny to go on it. Well, not yet anyway. I'm pretty sure the Gumbara #1, the mayor, is thinking of a way to get some money out of us, but at the moment it's free. So put your walking shoes on, walk up from the downtown Cato Paphos promenade, take you about 10 minutes, and then have a little wiggle and waggle on that, which again will take you around about 10 minutes. You're going to get a great view back down to the harbour area, and a great view to the uptown Paphos area. Get some great fresh air and a wiggle and a waggle. So that's what it's all about, exercising and fresh air in the beautiful place called Paphos on the island of love, Cyprus. There we are. If you want to buy a property, this could be the street for you, because on this street there's more property sellers than anywhere else. There's also a couple of bookies, so if your name's Dave Jono, you can pop in there, have a bet, and then walk down to the promenade and find yourself a babe, because there's plenty of babes on the promenade. Not that I ever go looking, because I've already got a couple of babes in my life. One, the most beautiful woman in the world, Miss Ochin Gracivia Labooth, and number two, Miss Ella, who's almost as beautiful, but not quite. And every time she hears me say that, she punches me, by the way. Here we are. Someone in a big four-wheel drive that just doesn't seem to understand the laws of the road. Cars came to a stop, so she decided, well, I'll just swing out round them. There we go. Never mind. It happens all over the world. I understand. Me, I don't really understand this four-wheel drive like. I understand a lot of people like them, and we fix an awful lot of them. But to me, a nice big luxury barge, as I call them, you can't get a more comfortable car. And as I always say to Marika, if this car can't go down that road, well, there can't be a lot down that road that I want to see, so I don't bother. There you go. Okay, the Paphos Harbour area, that's where we are. We're going to park up, we're going to go for a dismount, so stick with us, and we're going to walk into the harbour area. I'm going to take you with me to the Jalalama restaurant, because I'm going to go and have my breakfast, and you never know, I might get accosted while I sit there, while I'm stuffing my face with my bacon and eggs and sausage. Let's see if we can find a space in the shade, because in Cyprus it's nice to come back to your car and it's not that hot. Ooh, there's a nice space. Have a look at that, right on the front. So even when I've gone for my breakfast, my car can get a nice view across the blue Mediterranean Sea. I don't think it can get much better than that, but of course it's going to, because if you stick with me, we's off to the harbour area. So let's just unplug. There we are. We have it on charge now while we're driving around, because, well, the drives are quite a bit longer than the normal wiggling and waggling around the harbour area, if you understand me. So here we go. We have dismounted, we've locked up, and now we're going to start our little walk into the Paphos Harbour area. Not quite as busy as it was yesterday, but it is quite busy. Here we go. So that's the blue Mediterranean Sea, as you can see, and it's looking absolutely spectacular today. It's glistening out there. It's like the milkiest lake in the world. If Ochin Gracivia Labooth was here, she would be dancing around like crazy. Have a look at that. It doesn't get much better. And you've got fishermen going on. He's brought his two sons. So let's go for that stroll into the Paphos Harbour and see exactly what is going on. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful day, as I'm sure you can see. Miss Dawn, Mr. Sean, if you're watching while you're eating your breakfast, I think you understand that we are in paradise, and we're sending you all of our love, and we're beaming that sunshine into your living room as you digest your cornflakes and sip on your tea. Now, improvements going on everywhere. The little bits and bobs that they're doing, if you understand me. They're removing broken cobbles, broken tiles and replacing them, and they're going to make the Paphos Promenade and Harbour that little bit better, that's for sure. Now, great day in the harbour area. I'm going to go to the Jalalama restaurant and get myself a nice breakfast, and as I said, you never know, I might get accosted. I think the person knows who I'm talking about. If you're going to come and join me, thanks very much. Anyway, here we go. A lot going on. King's Restaurant, well, it's having the life knocked out of it, as you can see, but it's going to come back better, stronger and faster than it ever was before. It's going to be the Steve Austin of restaurants on the downtown Paphos Harbour area, and they're all going to have a lick, and there's a lot of things going to go on, and as it goes on, Marika and me are going to bring you down and show you what's going on. And of course the season will kick off again in around about March, and I'm sure we're going to make lots and lots of new friends, new staff. We're going to arrive to all these restaurants, and we are, yes, there you are. There we are. There's two people had a great holiday, and they're off back to wherever they may be, and they wanted to share that little bit of fun with you. There we are. There's King's. He's having all his floor ripped up, obviously going to be repaired and refurbished. Here's Theo's, and then the next one on the block is the Pelican, And there's my Gumbaru number 1. There he is, Mr. Emmanuel. He's wondering, where's the scooter? Where's the scooter? He says, where is the scooter? Because he understands that we've got scooters. Don't know who that chap was, but he seemed to know who I was. There we are. So this is where we come and see the Little Alamo. Next to that, you've got Set the Castle, and the last one on the very end is Stevie's.
Here we are not with any scooter.
Where's my scooter?
Hello,
my
everyone.
scooter is in the boot of my car. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm good, man.
Good?
I'm good. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, good man. I'll be back in 5 minutes,
And I'll be here
and
waiting.
I'll have a breakfast. Oh, we'll go and wish him a Happy New Year.
Hello, guys.
How are you doing, Maurice? You all right? Happy New Year. I'll be back in 5 years. 5 minutes, I'm back. I'll have a breakfast.
Hello.
So, we're going to keep going, because it's not fair to show some of them and not all of them. There he is. There's that Romanian. Happy New Year. You all right? Happy New Year to you. Good. How are you doing? All right? Good?
Very well.
Very good.
Enjoy the lovely year.
Excellent. He wants you to enjoy your lovely, lovely year. Next one along, Stevie's. There it is. And of course, there is the star of the show, Mr. Henry. Ooh, la 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 la. Ooh la la la. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. You all right?
Happy New Year to
How you
you.
doing?
Nice to see you.
There's the Gamma Jubba. Happy New Year. Rogarakat. Yes, us? You all right? There we are. Everyone's giving you a great, great Happy New Year from downtown Cato Paphos Harbour. Spectacular place on a spectacular day. Have a look at that. Feast your eyes and digest. And I'll say thanks for watching. And if you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Please come back for a little bit more of our madness. And if you want to watch the channel grow, Mr. Nigel, don't click off. Why not go through to our About page where you can buy a coffee for me, for Marika and yourself. And we can sit down and have a very good chat about what's going on in Miss Coola's shop and what new Brightlings she's got coming into town. Thanks for watching.